Adding and subtracting fractions with different denominators. I want to add 1/3 plus 2/5. Okay, so the denominators, as you can see, are different. And if they were the same, then I could simply add the numerators and I could get the solution, but they're not the same. So what I'll do is I'll make them the same. And to do so, I need to find the LCM. That's the lowest common multiple. LCM, this is the lowest, smallest number, common between two, multiple. So we can quickly write out multiples. So we'll start with the number 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and the list keeps going, right? I'm just adding 3 to each successive number. And I can write out the multiples for 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. Again, it continues. You can see I'm just adding 5 each time. Okay, so the lowest common multiple means I'm looking for the value that's the same between these two lists, and that's also the smallest. So here it is right here. It's 15. Okay, we can see the lowest number that is the same between these two lists is 15. So the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So what I'm going to do is make my denominator for both of these numbers 15. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite 1/3 as something over 15. I'm going to rewrite 2/5 as something over 15. So 1/3, what do I need to multiply 3 by to get 15? Right? What do I need to multiply 3 by to get 15? Well, that's 5. I need to multiply 3 by 5 to get 15. If I multiply 3 by 5, then I also need to multiply the numerator by 5 so that I have the same ratio. I have the same fraction. 1 times 5 is 5. So 5/15 is the same as 1/3. 1/3 is the reduced form of 5/15. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with 2/5. 2/5. I need to have a denominator, which is the lowest common multiple, so I want the denominator to be 15. I'm going to need to multiply 5 by something to get 15. That something is 3. Right? 5 times 3 is 15. If I multiply the denominator times 3, I need to multiply the numerator by 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so now we have this value here and we have this value here. Okay, so 1/3 plus 2/5, I've changed the denominators. That's equal to 5/15 plus 6/15. And now because the denominators are the same, I can add the two numerators. And I'll get 11/15. Okay, so when you have denominators that are different, you're going to need to find the lowest common multiple, make that the new denominator, change your fractions, and then you'll be able to add them together. So we can do the same thing for subtraction. Of course, when you use subtraction, you can have subtracting a negative, subtracting a positive, you can have different things. You can also add a negative, so let's just talk about subtraction first. Okay, so what if I want to take 2/3 and I want to subtract 1/4? Okay, I need to find the LCM, the lowest common multiple. Okay, I can write them off to the side. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and so on. I can write them for 4, 4, 8, 12, 16. Okay, once you do this a few times, you'll be able to do it in your head. You'll realize pretty quickly the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to take 2/3 and we're going to multiply that by something to get something over 12, right? So we decided 12 is the LCM of 3 and 4. 3 times what equals 12? 3 times 4. Multiply the denominator by 4, multiply the top by 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so there's one of them. 1/4, we need to multiply by something to get, again, 12 in the denominator. 4 times 3 equals 12, so we're going to multiply 1 by 3 in the numerator, so 3/12. Now we can rewrite this. 2/3 becomes 8/12, and we're going to subtract 1/4, which becomes 3/12. And 8/12 minus 3/12, these are the same denominator, so we can subtract 3 from 8, and we get 5/12. All right, so there's the answer. Now suppose we have negative 3/4. And then let's say we want to subtract 2/8. All right, you could have this question. And now we have two negatives. Okay, so much like when we were using integers and we had, say, -5, -7, what we did was we actually, when we were doing it the long way with the algorithm, we added the two numbers together and then changed them to negative at the end. So when they're both negative, right, when they're both negative, we'll add them together and then change the sign at the end. So actually what we're going to do here to solve this question is going to go 3/4 plus 2/8. Because they're both negative, we're adding them together and then we'll change the sign at the end. So again, the denominators are different, so we need to find a lowest common multiple. Okay, if I multiply 4 by 2, I get 8. So I actually don't have to do anything to the 2/8, right? I just have to change this one here. So 3/4 times, I want to get a fraction with 8 on the denominator, I need to multiply 4 by 2. So I need to multiply the numerator by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And like I said, this one's already in eighths. Okay, so now we can rewrite this. 3/4 is 6/8, and we're going to add 2/8. All right, so 6/8 plus 2/8 is 8/8. 8/8 is 1. Okay, so we're almost done. Remember, these were both negative. Okay, so we change the sign at the end. So negative 3/4 minus 2/8 is actually equal to -1, right? Take the 1 and we change the sign at the end.